What I take offense at is when he goes on a global platform and he starts talking shit, spewing a bunch of nonsense, giving bad advice, bad information, promoting crackpot conspiracies. And he's doing this, talking about Dave Collum here, he's doing this as a professor of chemistry, right? They're introducing him as a professor of chemistry at Cornell. I take big offense at that. I think that's a huge problem.
And you find out that all that money went to the DNC and went to Ukraine and went to Zelensky and went to various super PACs under the name of climate change and COVID pandemic change and shit like that. Now, more importantly, it also looked like a U.S. government money laundering scheme. We don't know the volume of money that was moved through FTX into Ukraine back to the DNC. That volume could have been much bigger. And so as we send $100 billion to Ukraine, how much that ended up back at the DNC?
I think that there's a problem when you have this guy, you know, when he comes out and he wants to tell you he's legitimate because he's collaborated with Merck and Pfizer, and then on the flip side of that, he tells you, oh, well, these drug companies, I don't trust them. He doesn't trust vaccines, right? You understand what I'm saying? Complete fucking hypocrite. I honestly don't trust this guy as a research scientist. There's something clearly wrong with this guy, okay? Something is clearly wrong with this guy. And honestly, I wouldn't trust anything he does. He's clearly not an honest person. He clearly has poor judgment. I mean, imagine this for a second. Imagine this for a second. You've got a guy, once again, Dave Collum, and he's a professor of chemistry. So not only has he gone through a very rigorous program, several years, he's been through decades in academia, going through scientific conferences, meetings, reading thousands of papers, writing papers, teaching, right? So you would think there's a lot of mental discipline there, logic, reason, right? I mean, come on. And then you listen to the guy talk, and you're just like, are you sure this guy is a professor of anything? Right? I mean, it's all very strange to me.
She gets asked, are they going to give back the money because they're trying to make some people whole or partially whole again? And she pleaded the fifth.
Yeah, I love that.
And it's like, let me do me a favor. Let me get some dental tools. I'll get it out of you. I'll get it out of you. So you said I don't wish harm upon anyone. You're a much better man than I.
I don't.
I wish harm on these people.
I don't have.
I want Tony Fauci to die from a vaccine death.
Yeah,
Why is that not right? Why is that not right?
It's not my style. I don't sit here and say I want this guy to die. I want that. That's just how
they're mass murderers.
That's the most bizarre thing about this guy, aside from all of his crackpot horseshit, is that to me, knowing academia, knowing professors, knowing this is all very strange. And if someone had told me this in advance, they would have told me about this guy, and they would have told me about all the things that he says. I wouldn't believe the person. I would not believe them. That's how bizarre it is. And then when you listen to the guy's delivery, how he just kind of flails stuff out there, you know, just kind of like, you know, well, it's all very strange.
Healthcare is not GDP. That's my assertion. It is not GDP. And how do you know? Let's say you had a population that needed no healthcare. They're healthy. Are they better off or worse? They're better. So you're not producing anything. The healthcare costs represent the cost of keeping a rapidly depreciating asset from breaking.
That's a good.
So if you had a 20-year-old Chevette and it was in the shop every other day, just to keep it on the road, is that GDP? And the answer is no.
Mm.
So if you had a car that never needed repairing, yeah, that's not product. So the fact that healthcare is a huge percentage of our GDP just means that we've got this rapidly. So that's back to the idea of a rapidly depreciating washing machine, blender, body, the boomers.
Planned obsolescence. Yeah.
Boomers are planned obsolescence.
There's something really fucking strange about this guy. And understand, it's a typical person that's promoted. This is why people don't know what the fuck is going on. He's the typical person that's promoted out there. His genre happens to be the fear-mongering horse shit. You've got similar people promoted as investment experts. Understand, he hangs in the same circles with John Hussman. You all know John Hussman, the PhD economist guy who's blown the fuck up out of his funds. I did a video on him. I'm going to be releasing on this site. I did a video on my website on him in 2013. This is when John Hussman was telling everybody there's a stock bubble. And his funds had returned negative, like minus 8% for the year. And the Dow was up 25%. I mean, I actually looked at his funds. I hadn't looked at the guy all this time. I looked at his fund now since inception. And he started his mutual funds at the bottom, at the fucking bottom of the .com. So in other words, he started right at the bottom. Yet his return since inception, his combined return is 43%. 43%. Meanwhile, the index is like 500, 600%. That's the kind of guy that's promoted out there because he's, his name is Hussman. Understand. Dave Collum hangs with these types of guys because they're fear-mongering fucking lunatics. Same with Jeffrey Gundlach. You think he doesn't know Jeffrey Gundlach? They're buddies. Same, they're related to Jeffrey Gundlach. You all seen the videos I've done, right? Showing their terrible performance. This is why people don't have a fucking clue what the hell's going on. And they fall for fake investment gurus on ScamTube. Because there's so much fucking disinformation out there. And that's what Wall Street wants. That's why CNBC promotes the fucking charlatans and broken clock idiots. They want to create dumb money. You got it? I've been talking about this for a long fucking time. Nobody wants to hear me because I speak the fucking truth. People don't want to hear the truth because they're all fucking scammers. Or they got something to hide. They want to hide their fucking mafia connection. They don't want people to know about what's going on. terms of getting back as an investor, if it's coming down to here, almost irrespective of what's going on, I have to believe, if I have to make a call in advance, and of course I can change depending on what happens, but I have to believe this is where you want to start doing that 18, 17, around there. Their earnings report is a complete game changer, at least for quite a while. Bottom line, NVIDIA now is going to enter the realm of Tesla, Apple, and all these other big, I mean, listen, NVIDIA can come down to 150, come down to $100. If you don't think it's possible, then you don't understand how the market works. I mean, listen, NVIDIA can come down to 150, come down to $100. If you don't think it's possible, then you don't understand how the market works.